Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Yahweh be the true name of the Father. Yahushai be named for his only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, the great millstone, and Tasha's truth and will well. The citation to hopefully that person's truth and honesty and sincerity. With Yahweh Sab, could you bless the spirit power, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Lesson going to update end times and events. Here's news from CNN. It says elementary school to remain closed through Friday to give students time to heal after 6-year-old allegedly shot teacher. 6 years old, man. 6 years old. It says the elementary school in Virginia will be closed this week to give students time to heal after a 6-year-old boy allegedly shot and injured a teacher there Friday. It says less than a week into the New Year's, officers swarmed the Rich Neck Elementary campus in Newport News, which still had Happy New Year sign outside, and took the child into custody. The boy shot the teacher in a classroom, and it was not an accidental shooting, Police Chief Steve Drew said. The boy remained in police custody as of Friday. It says before the gunfire, there had been an altercation between the teacher and a student who had the firearm. Drew said a single round was fired and no other students were involved. I guess he shot her in the chest. Okay. This is the times we living in, man. This is exactly why the Lord got to come back. You got school shootings for children as young as 6 years old doing these things, man. 6 years old? That's kindergarten age, man. If I'm not mistaken, that's the youngest of elementary. Now, you know, it's one thing you hear about news like this when it comes to high school students or middle school. You hear about that as far as vast majority of school shootings. But elementary age, 6-year-old bringing a gun to school and doing this shit like this, there's not even any pre-screening that is done to check on kids that age. You know, you would think it's completely unnecessary. Hey, but that goes to show the times we're living in is pure evil. This place is finished. It's gone, man. These people are all the way gone. How is it that a child, a 6-year-old child, can get access to a gun like that and contemplate and come up with a plan to take this gun to school and shoot the teacher? Where were the parents? What are the parents doing? And seeing photos of it, it appeared to be a Jake family, you know, and of course, you know, the news article is gonna word it that way, you know. Let it be a so-called little Edomite child, little white boy. You know, he would have been mentally disturbed and all types of things like that, you know. So you know they're really gonna run with it. We gotta run with this fully, because what did it say here? It says not an accidental shooting. It definitely would have been considered accidental, you know, if it would have been an Edomite. You know, so who knows the real story of what's going on, what really happened. But nonetheless, man, a child was able to bring a gun to school and discharge that weapon. Okay, and there's a few scriptures that come to mind when reading articles like this. Okay, this is the book of Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. And it says, next verse, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Right? So the days are extremely evil, you know, when you got situations like this happening. You know, because that hits people, especially those like myself that have very younger children. You know, we gotta take our kids to school, and we gotta sit here and think about that this could happen at a young age such as that. That really makes you pissed off, man. You know, the good thing none of the other kids got hit. You know, it was just the Edomite lady, which the Spirit of the Lord allowed that to happen. You know, he had to say something out against that woman. The Lord controls all things, man. He sends spirits out here. You know, they got to get permission before they act. You know, so everything happens for a reason. It's all through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, so for the teacher aspect from her side, it probably was some type of judgment for her. But also is judgment on the family as well, because they're going to have to pay for this for the rest of their lives, man. But ultimately these days are just evil, man. They're gone. Let the righteous be in authority. The people rejoice. But when the wicked authority, the people mourn, roughly paraphrasing. People are mourning right now. Because you got wicked, evil people in charge. Esau, who lives by the sword. He lives by the sword, so shall the people shall be, as the king is. So, you got children looking up to what Esau pushes out as important. Being able to go out and kill somebody with these guns, man. Children shouldn't have access to that type of shit. Not that young. Not that young, man. It's the book of Proverbs 22:6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Now that the family, the mother and father of the child, should have been bringing that child up, through the scriptures, through the Lord. When you got niggas raising kids, man, and they're too worried about, flexing their guns and being thugs and gang banging and shit, doing drugs. And I'm not saying I don't know if that's what their parents is on, but what type of bullshit are you guys on for your child to have access to a firearm? Because you got responsible parents out there that do have firearms, and their children know well enough to never fucking touch the shit, or never to go near it. So what type of upbringing are those parents doing? It's clearly not of the Lord, man. And it used to be back when, myself coming up as kids, in school, there was some type of, at least a little bit of hints of biblical standards, such as, homosexuality was frowned upon. People, it was still okay to pray in school. Even when they said the damn Pledge of Allegiance bullshit, they say one nation under God, they don't even want to say that shit no more. Not saying that that's what it is and that's what should happen, but, because that's not really what the Pledge of Allegiance is actually. They're not really honoring the Lord, but you know what I'm referring to, man. The times are nowhere nearly, as Yahweh being in people's hearts as they are now. These people are heartless, man, and completely consumed mentally in evil. This is why we need the Lord to come back. This is the book of Psalms 106 verse 47. It says, save us, O Yahweh, save us, O Yahweh, our God, and gather us from among the heathen. Right, we want the Lord to come get us, man, from out of these heathens. Because that's some heathen mentality bullshit that's pushed on that little Jake child, man. I'm not just talking about, other nations, but wicked people in general that are also counted as heathen. Just everyone's heathens out here, man. Wicked. So to give thanks unto thy holy name and triumph in thy praise. Right. We want to serve the Lord in righteousness. And our people as a whole collective want to be in righteousness, man. Not surrounded by all these demonic ass influences to where the point you got our children taking firearms to school and shooting up the damn teacher, man. What kind of shit is that? This is the book of Ecclesiastes 39:28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay, so there are spirits that the Lord create for his anger, for vengeance, and people like to call them demons. They're all controlled by the Lord. All right, they're all controlled by the Lord. And when the Lord unleashes them, that's fury. They pour out their wrath and force. So you have situations like school shootings that can happen. All right, and it says appease the wrath of him that made them. So like I said, the teacher probably did piss off the Lord, man. Probably was a heathen, an Edomite woman that was doing some wickedness. Might have been seriously picking on that child. Because in some cases, I know as a kid, Jake knows that they be mistreated by these Edomite teachers, man, that hate Israelites. And there might have been that one, Jake child, being mistreated by that teacher enough for him to come up with the thoughts to do that shit. But at 6, that's kind of far-fetched, man. You know, we never know. Like I said, we don't know the full story. So another precept here, this is the book of Amos 9 and 8, says, behold, the eyes of Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. So the Lord's eyes are upon this wicked nation for all the things that's going on. He's seeing every single thing that's happening. He's seeing all the bullshit. And that's another thing too. These teachers are required to push the LGBTQ movement. All right, and that stuff is very wicked. And the Lord hates that. That's one thing that teacher could have been trying to push and teach them on some little kids. So the Lord sent that judgment upon her. Because them Edomites, best believe they try to teach that bullshit and push it on your children, man. For Joachim that got younger ones. So make sure you keep your children grounded within the scriptures. Quiz them, you know. Do some studies, sit down with them. Go over different things. Go over the Hebrew. Go over the law, statutes, and commandments. The high holy days. Go over the story of Yahweh Shai, all the characters, all the people of the Bible. You got to teach them, man. Raise up the child's way they should go. Because these devils, they're trying to teach your kids to be evil. You know? So, hey, man, just want to speak on that. This is something that's going on. This is what's happening in the world right now. This is the world we're living in. This is why we need to be delivered. So with that, Lord's will is edifying. I'm going to close out and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone, taught us truth and will well. Citation